They want to bury us. The more the merrier, we know everybody ain't gonna be for you, so we standing tall, man. We adding and subtracting all of the nonsense and non-factors that want to keep trying to make it seem like we after or we need them to have laughter or fun, and it's like, nah, it's not the one, it's the two, baby. I do what I want to do. Because they never gonna have another one of me. Is you psycho? Is you like that? Like that? Being bold. I'm on my LA with it. LAX. Said they killed my homie down the stretch. Cheesecake float. Come catch this vibe, baby. We go off in the morning. Cause we talking about what's really happening in the world. Like 15-year-old boy shot. Should be an outrage in the community. Another sad day for the city. Cause you unprotected on them subways, you know. It's not pretty out there. You're really fighting for your life every day. I'm gonna be knowing what to say at some of these titles and events taking place out there, man. It just gets tougher and tougher, but we so used to seeing, we desensitized to being a plot inside of these schemes that they dropping on us like bombs. How they gonna let that little man get hit? Just be so calm and not want to go and get street justice. It ain't nothing, man. You could lose your life in a blink of an eye. And they sit up here and try to throw the book at you. Now you're trying to go to trial. Shorty won't even look at you. Sitting in there rotting. No visits, no mail. Picking that rotten cotton. That's how they gonna have you up there on the line. Chain gang, baby. They staining. Stay in your career. That's how they try to get you to stay in your place. Because they know how it appears to be. So now they gotta tarnish your name to make you feel less than and to make you fall in line with the other slaves. So these jails could get paid the same way Michael Jordan is doing. It's all a scheme in the game, man. It's a grenade that's about to blow up the way we exposing their ass. Because we remain warriors of the trenches that's just trying to tell their story and input to give back and try to get this thing back to normal, because we see that they jumping off the porch at a high alarm rate. Mama left you for dead, you know, lady of your life, for what's better said than worth. She now messing with the next ninja. As soon as you go up and you put yourself in them prisons and you want to grow up and you want to live in this street world, it ain't nice, it ain't pretty, man. Don't do it. Think twice, like you could do better than this. This life ain't for us, man. We gotta win. We gotta show people we got the willpower and the opportunity when it's not always present, or the unity might not seem like it's there, or we leading with love in the community, man, because we want to see the kids grow up, we want to see the babies get old. That's the point of life. Not like all of this, our babies is trying to kill each other in the streets. I mean, on the train, is it that deep, family? What could have that teenager have really done to get in that plot? And did they snot box rock like that? Man, it's sad that we letting the babies go out there and commit them acts. And then we just gonna be relaxed and act like it can't be one of our kids, or it can't hit close to home. That could be your son, your nephew, your daughter. And I heard it's not even the first time that kid got shot. I heard the kid who I'm talking about in the title, the 15-year-old, I heard this their second time getting shot. Like, damn. Dude ain't learned his lesson. But God keeping him alive for a reason. You better believe it. You better be thankful. Stop trying to act like you're invincible out here, man. Because anybody could get attacked, anybody could attack, but how cool is it to really be projecting and putting out another black man as if we ain't got enough stress already? Problem that you gotta figure out. You gotta look at your own people in the community, like they try to hurt you, man. They wanna take you out. You might not believe the same ideology, but we all came from the same place, and we gotta be fit and correct and exactly understand that the more we protect each other and we stick to a plan, and in fact, you know, we got a way out. You know, we on the exit, we on the up and up. It's like they ain't gonna want to mess with us, man. They ain't gonna want to keep trying to put the squeeze down on the community and we the people, because they see we gonna really make a issue about it. We gonna put it out there in the forefront, because we don't care about your gang or, you know what I'm saying, about your situation that you may have accumulated a certain type of respect and power. Like, yeah, the real ones and the ones that, you know, keep us in mind, we always gonna be positively influenced and affected by that to get back, you know what I'm saying, what we get. So of course, when we see that it's ones that protect us from the dangers and make sure that we don't have to be involved in the activity, to be like on top of your game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta practice your power and your gifts together, the name, and try to have some type of fame or, you know, fortune. It's like social media became a drug now. You know, people's addicted to the effect that they could have, you know, on the internet, when they put their messages and they put their face, they plastering it on the wall. You know, that's what it's called on Facebook. You know, when you comment on somebody's page, it's a wall, right? So the internet is a actual wall. it's an algorithm that can track and it can, engage with you and your community and the things you do. So this is why you got to start small and be able to reach, a little crowd or audience, and it all will connect down the line when they see that, you can respect and you can kind of project and have these audiences show up in real time. It's like now you become a phenomenon. You built in that fan base, you built in that cult, and now you're just taking it to the level of, hope and forgiveness, because we haven't even forgiven ourselves. We so hard on each other, and we got all of these standards and morals and these different beliefs that we want to see inside of each other. And before we begin to grow and love each other more, than we know, we start to be defensive and skeptical. And, you want to be a little bit protective, and it's nothing wrong with that, but you don't want to block, you don't want to trap yourself in the block, because the block is hot. You know what I'm saying? They want to see your ass out here naked. So that's why they applying that pressure on you. You know what I'm saying? They want to break your neck. They ain't no escape. They don't want you to have a route. So they want to take all kind of measures, you know what I'm saying, trying to make you seem like you a snake. So you cut the head off and the body will fall. But, when you start to head up, it all will seem so easily accepted and to really have a method, you know what I mean, and a schedule. Because I woke up late as hell this morning. Thank God I ain't had to work. I'm off, baby. I was tired. I'm tired. My whole body. So now I gotta try to make up for that. That's why I come on here and I let y'all know, hey, I'm gonna be on TikTok in a few minutes. We all gonna be there. Don't think that, you know what I'm saying, because I ain't there right away. I ain't thinking or I ain't gonna make it. It's just that, it's taking me a little bit longer. We getting stronger day by day, and it's like, we able to control somewhat of the mood and the temperament of how we do it, because we collected hundreds of views. I mean, our goal is to get at least 500 live views a day. So we already started, on a good foot. We on a good note right here, right now, as we assume or we'll say, hey, I've been on live for 15 minutes so far today. It's 6:30. Let's even say if I caught 100, 200 people attention in a 30-minute time span or less, that's very great and blessed, because now I still got the rest of the day to get almost half left of the goal that I set aside for myself. And I'm gonna grow. I mean, as long as they push me out to the people and I could get my mind across and get what's on my chest off, I'm gonna be able to collect and I'm gonna be able to protect, and damn sure know I'm gonna connect with some souls out there that's gonna understand and the relatableness of what I'm going through and what they going through. We over kicking it, like it's overly rambunctious the way we coming on here and we fitting in, and we making our way right on up, to be able to hope and have another day to ourselves to, grow and be a role model and be the influence that we always knew we could be, and we know it's gonna be more opportunities and doors that open up along the way as you let the Lord be your savior, man. Because the Lord is my shepherd, baby. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to, let Jesus do the works and let God make sure he put it first. You know what I'm saying? To see the actual evidence of who we are and what we do, and how we come in with the joy and the power, to avoid, that void, of loneliness and idle time and just, the devil's playground, man. It's something that you gotta play with, but you gotta understand you don't have to stay in that state of wilderness and loneliness. Everybody wants somebody. There's somebody for everybody, but everybody ain't gonna be able to unlock and unleash those different powers to be gifted and strengthen, empower yourself in the community, because that's what it's supposed to be there for people to use it to get better and not ignore the times and the signs and the facts that we're not in control, and it's way more that we don't know than what we do, and how we gotta, still maneuver with everything we was taught in school, and we understand curriculum and how it tries to, shape you to think and to live a certain lifestyle. So we just give it our all, man, what we could give and how we receive, because we understand that it's better to be on the side of redemption and building than destruction and, the detriment to the people. That we understand these evils and that these gangs want to put in your neighborhood and try to intimidate and use those numbers, the strength in numbers. But we, the people, we got to take back the community, man. We got to shed the light, and we got to let people know, what's right and what's wrong, and not just normalize when it's against women or children. And, you know what I'm saying? It started somewhere, the aggression, the acts, the violence is there, but we gotta match the energy to be able to receive and to let out all of that evil that's been, hold, and that's been consuming our minds. Because when you look in the social media or you look in the news, these are the only views, these are the things that's getting the views. Is we see these horrible stories or these, terrible, horrible activities and behaviors, that we begin to be exposed to. So now, we want to be able to be open and give people an opportunity to choose and do what they do. But it's like we still don't want to lose and be able to, take on these dangers that these kids is doing, because it's like, it's a whole new era. It's nothing new under the sun, but we see the eagerness to jump off the porch and be in the streets is starting to be a little bit more glorified than what we may like. When we look at these kids, that's one of the options that's being pushed in their face, at a high alarming rate. We need our women, we need our leaders, to stop letting themselves be fooled, by the fakeness and the flaunting, the social media rich lifestyle that everyone's wanting, and that instant gratification. Because we know women are going to be the leaders when it comes to the culture, and when it comes to, the devastation of how to break down the truth and what we need, and how we got to follow women to be, in our salvation, man, and get in our glory. Because they know and they can feel, and they have certain energies that's real that they bring into the table as well, to connect and to try to teach the youth. Because who's going to teach the babies? It's going to be the women. So they the ones at home with the kids. They the ones that are, giving them the gems and the knowledge to be able to get to those steps. And we want to see them go off to college and, learn and connect and be able to bring us up out these dark clouds that's over the hood right now. Because we want to protect our babies, we want to protect our women, we want to protect the children, and give everyone a chance to grow, connect, and be a community village again. But we see, it's people out there who want to sabotage what we got. We love women so much that, we even let the behaviors that may not be the best or the characteristics that we see that they may let on to believe is who they are. And we just want to accept women for what they do, man, and let them be in their light, because we know that these are the people who, like, shape the community. So, we want to make sure we backing them wholeheartedly, taking care of our women and children, and, we making sure that we holding the men accountable for their actions if it may not see fit, because now we see that the youth is starting to pick it up and be able to follow these same behaviors and these models. So it's like, we invite men to be men and to be mindful and understand that, we got to take the brunt end of the stick sometimes just to get into a better mindset. You know what I'm saying? We got to take the pain and we got to protect the ladies, man, and understand that, once you start saying and you start manifesting and you start, wanting to protect and do these things, that it opens up a new door for a new avenue and a new day, for us to get back the structure and the ways of the community back then we used to see in Black Panthers, and when they had Martin Luther King era and the peace and the marching. It's like bringing it back full circle. It's coming, but we just gotta really attack and understand that, what I mean, what we come from and where we're going, what I'm saying, in today's world, and, how we're saying things and how it's being delivered and received. We just want to be able to perceive and put on, a good mental cap, to keep us strong and strength in those times when we may get weak, and we know that lust and, we know that different things that we all have inside of us, but we gotta control, we gotta be able to, maneuver in our own ways to be positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't let those weapons break us down, because they selling sex, it's a high alarming rate. Anytime you turn on your Instagram or turn on your TikTok, what you gonna see? You gonna see women, because that's the power right now. They on the rise. So, you just want to be able to look at the right women and the right ones for what their messages and their, let me say, their strategies on how to, get through these times that we're living in, because you got to be able to see it and understand the vision, that God has given us all. And, it's just food for thought, man. And we got to train our mind to be protectors and be, providers, to produce, to be, introduced into this world. But also women, y'all gotta give men a chance too. More women gotta give men more chances to, step up and, have those characteristics that they're looking for, because it seems though, we're getting shut down and shut out of the scene, and that's why we're behaving in the ways that they have lately. And we just want to be able to, be at our strongest. So, that's my message for the world. And, it ain't gonna be the longest. I ain't gonna be on here too long, to be honest, because I'm already late. But, make sure you stay afloat, stay awoke. Be on point for me, because I'm gonna be coming at you 2 ways, maybe even 3 fold, today. Because like I said, I'm trying to hit that 500 mark. So that's why I'm laying down my game and starting. coming on here to tear it apart, man. We're not gonna play with these YouTube algorithms. No way, shape, or form. You know, we coming on here to perform and give you the best performance that you ever done seen, baby, and we warning you. So make sure you're ready for these things that's coming at your fly talk, baby. That's what we do. You know, it's on the beat. So see you later. Be great. Stay positive. Maintain. Stay focused. Get to the bag. Get your money. And you know what I'm saying? Protect your worth. Protect your energy. Because, you know, it's going to get greater later, baby. But first, you know it's worth it. It's your boy. I'm out. Smash that like button. 1. Make sure you holla at your son, number 1. And I'ma shine like 1 too. I'm out of here. You know what I do, baby. Love you. Love.